Hey, now what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AnsleyD here, back at you with another video. Now in this video I'm going to talk about some things that I came across on YouTube. I was checking out some YouTube videos and I saw this YouTube video and it was talking about how things are more boring nowadays than compared to back in the days. And I was like, it's kind of true, you know, things are really kind of more boring now compared to like back in the day, especially when I was younger. Things were more fun, things were more vibrant, seemed to be more exciting back in the days. So in this video, he was talking about how things have changed up, colors and all type of things. So the video was by Curtis Connor. So if you get a chance, go check out Curtis Connor video. You can check out that video. We talk about how things are more boring. So these are my reaction and little tidbits and notes and kind of gems I took off of it that I want to discuss. So one of the things that we talk about was nowadays you're seeing like on TikTok, on Instagram, on different social media, how different old clips of stuff from back in the days, like you'll see stuff like old G.I. Joe toys or old Micro Machine or stuff regarding to Mario Brothers and stuff like that. And he talked about like, yeah, back in the days, these were the fun things, you know, these were the fun things, the more vibrant things to do. And he was talking about how back in the days, people were more interactive and having more fun. So how things have changed now, he's saying, is that coming to the days like 25 years later, things seems to be more boring. 25, 20, 30 years later, things seems to be more boring. And a lot of it, he says, was dealing with colors. And I was like, that is true. Back in the days, you used to see a lot more colors and things, a lot more colors in like houses and apartments. People was using more wood instead of like the color of beige or silver or gray and black, like how, like, I guess that's a modern day look nowadays. So he was discussing that. And I was kind of like, yeah, that's probably even affecting how people's mind is and how people's mindset is. So he was basically discussing how back in the days, colors of things were more vibrant, even football jerseys and stuff like that, NBA jerseys, sports jerseys, the colors were more vibrant and more out there. And he also was like discussing, like, is it maybe because back then we didn't really have too much things to worry about, so we had less things to worry about, and we were more about having fun, going outside, going out in nature, exploring the parks, and going through bushes and all type of stuff, and just exploring things. Where nowadays, just a lot of things is basically on technology and people sitting down. Like even one clip he showed where how even stuff at McDonald's now, back in the days, McDonald's used to have the playscape. Remember the playscape at McDonald's? It was like a whole bunch of tubes and all type of things, and climb up and slides and all type of things to do. He said now it just seemed like a one box, and then you have two chairs with like some tablets or some computer setup, and that's supposed to be like the playscape area. Like back in the days, yeah, some people had like little arcade games in the McDonald's place into the playscape, but now he's saying like the McDonald's playscape, you go there's just like a cubicle box where people just go in there and like whatever they're doing in that box, and then they have two like monitors or two tablets that people can get on, and they get on tablets and play games and stuff like that. So other than that, what else we could discuss about? He said like maybe things are not so much vibrant nowadays because maybe things are boring because our eyesight. So our eyesights have depreciated over the years. So that's why probably some of the reasons why colors is not so flashy like how it used to be. Colors are not being used, vibrant colors. And he also did some study about some colors of I think he used what is it, 7 Museum Group, something like that. I believe he said he checked out some research that 7 Museum Group did, and on that research he found that back in the days, you know, first thing started off with you using like, you know, the blacks, the grays, those colors, the browns and stuff like that. But then as time come, you know, increased with the browns and the yellows, and colors begin to get more vibrant, especially after like 1840s and going up to the 1900s and the early 1900s. Then he said over the past years, though, these colors has dropped off. The use of these colors has dropped off, and it's going more towards like beige and gray and the black white tone, or, you know, silver, and it's not as vibrant as things. Even like cell phones back in the days used to have different color cell phones, and you had different ways of looking at stuff. Like, even remember they had them kind of like transparent cell phones where you could see through, you could see the technology inside the phone, but then it'd be different colors like purplish or yellowish and stuff like that. So those things haven't even changed over the past year. So things seeming to be more boring. There's not that much activity, especially outdoor activities like it used to be back in the days. Or maybe people are not partaking in it. Like, now that it's springtime and it used to be windy, even spring or fall time, it used to be windy. People used to get their kites or hook up kites and go outside and fly their kites. Well, now I guess the drones has replaced kites, right? So now you got to learn how to fly drones in order to get some kind of excitement out of, I don't know, being outside. Cell phones definitely had changed. Back in the days, the flip cell phones, you have different flip cell phones, the slide cell phones. You had cell phones where you could download ringtones. That was music. Remember back in the days, you could able to, a song was hot, you was able to download that song as your ringtone. Shout outs to my peoples, man. My peoples used to sell ringtones. So other than that, well, creativity, since technology, when technology first came out, creativity was up there. Like, everybody loved creating with technology, being creative, using technology. Technology was just like more creative. Now it's like basically bland. I guess probably since, you know, corporate America basically took it over and make it like a cash cow type thing, where people was just used to like certain formats. Everything's like certain formats, and then everything after that is, you know, buy here or advertisement or where to get your contact, where they can rebrand to you or end up following up with you via email or these other things that they have that I'm not even going to discuss right now. But you know how the different things, like, say you see a commercial or you even thinking about something, next thing you know, like a few hours on the next day, you end up seeing that commercial about that thing or something like that. So they're using technology like that. Technology is not even that creative no more. And the tech explosion was fun when tech first came out. Remember, they had the different computers. You can even build your own computers. You was learning computer program. Well, that's when I was like really into like tech back then, when it was like the explosion was happening, wanting to be a computer science. But when you go to school, boy, you better be on point with them things, because that code and stuff. But even just that, like just having the fun part of the big explosion of technology. Now a lot of things is AI, or like the movies nowadays is what they got called CGI generated type movies. So even talking about the movies, like back in the days, like a Batman movie even had more colors back in the days compared to like a modern regular action-packed movie nowadays. Like, the colors nowadays is more dreary or like beigeish, and he actually went into that too. So if you could check out that video by Curtis Conner, the video is like Things Are Boring Now, Why Things Are Boring. Basically, I got the same title off of him. So why are things boring right now? And he talks about the movies, how the movies were like, they were fun and more interactive. And, you know, remember you had the 3D glasses, and the 3D movie came out, you was, oh yeah, let's go get the glasses. And now they got, they still once in a while having some 3Ds or 4D movies or whatever you have. But it's different nowadays, right? So the colors is changing, movies changing, technology is changing. These things, like, it's things from like back in the days that was like, it was great back then, right? Yeah, people passing through, make sure 18, all right. But so yeah. So basically, I was just coming on here to discuss my opinions and also talk about some of the points that he made into that video that Curtis kind of made about things are being boring. And it's basically a lot of we're dealing with colors and creativity, and people are not using their creativity no more, and it's more, everything is like basically like cookie corner cut type things, and following certain protocols. If you want to redo your room or your house or your bathroom, you want to remodel something like that, instead of going to like the olden ways with the, you know, wood grain and all that. Everything's now is like marble, white marble, or silver counters or gray countertop. Like, it's just different compared to some of the houses if you look back in the days. So those are things, like even that architect structure has even changed. Architect structure big time change. Things are more like, I can't even explain. I mean, some of it is tough the way it is and how they use the shapes and geometric shapes and put them together, but at the same time, a lot of them nowadays are seeming like the same way, like a couple rectangles and a triangle, or a triangle and a couple rectangles, or whatever have you, right? So things is definitely changing, and things are more boring. And I think parts of it is because technology took it over, and we are not involved in technology, like being the creative part of technology. Instead, we're shown, okay, well, you have to do this, and this is the way it have to be. Like, imagine like MySpace compared to like Facebook. Like, MySpace was more fun, more interactive. You could, well, I wouldn't say could do different things, but it was just different compared to, like, I don't know. with nowadays, it's probably because AI is taking over everything, or it's a lot of AI generated content, so things are not really as creative as back in the days. Like MySpace, doing a MySpace account and posting and creating on MySpace, you really had to take out some time and some creativity and learn things. But